What's going on, everybody? I'm Patrick from POWLAX and welcome to the POWLAX backyard. In this video, we're going to be talking all about how we want players to hold the stick. This is the POWLAX backyard, where I'll be teaching techniques and how to fix common mistakes by showing you ways to improve your game at home. Before we get started, I'd like to thank all of the POWLAX members whose generous contributions make these videos possible. We believe that the best way to improve and grow the lacrosse landscape is by educating players, parents, and coaches with the information they need to be successful so they can enjoy the sport. That's why all of the POWLAX videos are free to watch anytime, anywhere. If you enjoy the POWLAX content and want to help contribute to their creation, consider becoming a member at POWLAX.com. For just $5 a month, you gain access to the entire POWLAX playbook, a series of PDFs that accompany all the POWLAX videos. Once again, thank you to all of the POWLAX members. Now let's get back to the video. When holding a lacrosse stick, the first thing we're going to have is our top hand, the hand nearest to the head, is going to go under the stick and kind of hold it up like this. Our bottom hand is going to go on the top of the stick. Now, the reason why we do this is so we can have as much control as possible, because our top hand is going to be able to curl in and our bottom hand is going to be able to kind of twist out. And the fact that our top hand and our bottom hand are working against each other, that's going to give us the most mobility when we're executing any kind of skill. And you're going to see a ton of kids when we start playing defense, they're all kind of going to want to bench press, which we're not going to want to be doing. Next, when we grab onto the stick, we want to hold it firmly in our fingers, not tightly. And we want to hold it with our fingers because we want to use our knuckles and our fingers to help us spin and kind of twist the stick so that we have the most control. Now, younger players are always going to grab with their palm first. A lot of it's because they don't quite have the dexterity or the strength in their fingers yet, but over time, they may start in their palm, but they'll gradually move out to their fingers and in their knuckles. In order to help us hold the stick with our fingers and in our knuckles is we're going to put our thumb up the side of the stick, not over our fingers. So if I grab with my palm, my thumb immediately goes over my fingers, but once I push it up the side of the stick, that's going to give me more control with my thumb. It's also going to position the stick so that it goes from the outside heel of my hand all the way up through my index finger's knuckle so that our fingers can easily wrap around the stick. Finally, we're going to touch on how far apart we want our hands to be, and this is going to vary depending on the skill that the player is doing. But the most important part about how far apart our hands are going to be is that the player is comfortable and that they can accomplish the task that they're doing. So for me, when I cradle, I can hold my hand at the top of the stick and the bottom of the stick, but this stick is built for an adult. So if a younger player who is a lot smaller than me plays with this stick, when they hold the top and the bottom, they're going to be like this. And so they're not going to have the control that we would want them to have. And so we're probably going to cut down that stick or tell them to choke up. Now, when we choke up, we mean we're gonna move both of our hands up the stick. We might expose our butt end, but because our hands are closer to the head where the ball is, we're gonna have more control regardless of whether it's catching, throwing, cradling, anything like that. Finally, when we throw, we're most likely going to move our top hand down to a forearm's length above the butt of the stick. To do that, we're going to put the butt of our stick near our top hand elbow, and then wherever we grab, we're gonna wanna put some tape so that our hand knows exactly where it needs to stop. This forearm's length is also hip length, and anytime we have our hands this far apart, we're going to have a good amount of mobility to do whatever skill it is we're trying to do. Now we're going to cover some ways you can work on this skill at home. We're going to do the following drills to teach players to use their fingers when they're controlling the stick. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have them spin the stick in their hands. We're not going to use that much when we get to the game, but you're not going to be able to spin the stick if you hold the stick in your palm. So it's really going to help to build the strength in the player's fingers. So to start, they're going to hold their stick horizontally like this. They're going to kind of lighten their bottom hand grip, and they're going to use their fingers to push the bottom of the stick forward. And once they get up enough, they're going to let go, and the stick is going to spin in their hands. Then we're going to do the same thing the other way. We're kind of going to grab with our fingers a little further in, and we're going to pull it out. So we're going to spin the opposite way. Now notice my bottom hand isn't actually doing anything. I'm doing everything with my top hand. Now we're going to do the same thing, but with our bottom hand. So we're going to curl over, flip it, and then we're going to push and curl under to flip it. Then we're going to do that same thing in a couple of different areas. So first we're going to hold our stick vertically like this, and now we're going to curl in, spin the stick. Now we're going to curl out, spin the stick. Now we're going to do the same thing with our bottom hand. Curl out to spin the stick, curl in to spin the stick. Now we're going to do it up here to pass. Curl top hand, out top hand, out top hand. Out bottom hand, in bottom hand, in bottom hand. Now we're going to go out like we're going to shoot. Curl top hand, out top hand, out top hand. Curl bottom hand, in with the bottom hand, in with the bottom hand. So by doing those motions, we're going to have to use our fingers, and so that's going to build the dexterity and the strength in our young players who are having trouble controlling the stick in their hands. For extra credit, you can switch to your offhand and do the same thing on the opposite side. The next drill we can do in any of those fashions is we're actually going to do a two-handed curl. So instead of kind of throwing the stick where I'm going to let the ball carry the stick around and spin, now I'm going to curl my top hand up and I'm going to grab with my bottom hand turned over and kind of pull the rest of the way with our bottom hand. So it goes top hand, bottom hand, top hand, bottom hand, top hand, bottom hand. And then I can go the other way. I can go bottom hand, top hand, bottom hand, top hand. And so out here, if I want to just spin the stick, I'm going to curl with my bottom hand, pull with my top hand, curl with my bottom hand, pull with my top hand. And any way you can add those together, you're going to end up building the dexterity as you hold the stick with your fingers. I hope this video has helped you get a better understanding of the game and how to practice at home. If you liked it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the POWLAX YouTube channel, and follow POWLAX on social media. To watch and learn more, support the POWLAX mission, and download the PDFs that accompany all of the POWLAX videos, head to POWLAX.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.